Good morning. Good morning. Are you ready? Good morning. I didn't see the live button on Instagram there right away. Good morning, you guys. It's Kirsten Liebelt. How are you doing? It is Thursday. We are like barreling towards June. Here we go. Very exciting. Oh my gosh. Summer is my favorite. I'm sure it's everybody's favorite. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but it's exciting. I love it. So I'm in Minnesota. This is how we survive Minnesota because the summers are glorious, amazing. All right. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and we do this, you guys, all of us together. We do this Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we have this conversation about insulin resistance and how it's impacting your life and what you can do about it to turn it back around, make it leave the building so that you can have the results that you want. Today, we're going to talk about one very specific frustration that is connected with insulin resistance. But there are many. I mean, you guys talk to me about medications and doctor's appointments and procedures and all of the things. And today we're going to talk about belly fat. Belly fat. So I named this one, Why Your Belly Fat Keeps Growing Even When You Are Eating Healthy. I don't know if this is you or not, but even when you're eating healthy, the truth about insulin resistance. And so that's what we're going to do today. Housekeeping would be, you guys, we have a lot coming up. If you have been looking for a place to stake your flag for a season so that you can get everything under control and turn it back around, you are in the right place. I want you to hear me on that. Okay. Sunday in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And you can find that actually on my site. It's my first last name.com. Kirsten, Kirsten, Liebelt, no space, Liebelt, Liebelt.com. Okay. You can find the entrance to the Facebook community right there. Sunday, we're going to start 90 days of the Summer of Fire. That just basically means that I am going to just walk you through a journey over the summer. Nothing that is overwhelming. You do not have to change every little detail about your entire life and feel overwhelmed and burdened in order to have results over the summer. But we are going to focus on just a few things so that you feel like you gain ground. I want you to take territory over the summer because it can be challenging. But then on Monday, you guys were doing the 5-day challenge. That's free. And we do these every month, and this will be our 25th one. We've been doing this for 2 years. So if you've never been a part of one, I highly recommend it. Every day at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will go live and we will talk about ingredient trade-outs and give you super duper practical, conversation about how to change out your pantry and your refrigerator and why. Why does it matter? And we'll do a recipe and we have a lot of fun. So it's a great community. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Good to see you. And the Summer of Fire, the reason why is because let's spend our summer, you can think of it in two different ways. You're either going to light a fire under your health this summer and you're going to actually take ground and territory, or you're going to light a fire inside of your cells and you're going to burn fat. So it's the summer of fat burning, and we can totally do this. I'm telling you, I was the least likely to succeed in any of this. I was the poster child of that's really cute. Yeah, she'll get it together. No, she won't. That's kind of who I have been in the past. But I'm telling you, you can rewrite your story at any minute. And it is you rewriting your story. I'm just going to walk journey with you. I'm just going to lock arms with you. And we're going to get tons of new, fresh testimonies this summer. Somebody is going to do what happened last summer, where she started with targeted supplementation and food ingredient trade-outs in July. And by January, they wrote not diabetic in her chart. That can be you too. Okay, let's do this. So I just really wanted to get back to a little bit of 101 today, but I think this is going to really help you. And the reason why is because, again, I always go based upon the comments that I'm getting or the questions that I'm getting in my inbox or the things that people are saying. And so what I teach is very streamlined. What I teach is very simplistic, but it is still within a framework. And so oftentimes we want to like ride on the edges of framework, et cetera, but it doesn't work. And then we stay very frustrated. And I want to make sure that we can deal with this. So maybe this is you. You have to tell me, okay? So you can tell me in the comments below if this is you. You're trying to find something, anything in your closet, okay, that doesn't squeeze your belly or make you feel uncomfortable. You used to love your jeans. Now even your stretchy pants feel snug. You look at your clothes and you think, I don't even know how to dress this body anymore, because your body composition has changed, because your belly is growing, and it's really kind of throwing your measurements off a little bit, right? Maybe this is you. Not because you didn't love the memory, but because your arms or your face or your belly didn't look how you wanted them to look. And so you asked to be cropped out of a photo. Okay. It wasn't about vanity. It was about just really kind of like not recognizing yourself anymore. You're kind of like, like your brain, it's kind of, what's that word? Dissonance, where something doesn't match. Okay. Maybe this is you. You returned the outfit that didn't fit. You ordered something for a special occasion. You maybe like you made a date night or your kid's wedding, and when it came, it didn't zip. So you sent it back and told yourself it just wasn't the right color, when really it wasn't the right fit for your body that you don't understand anymore. Okay. How about this one? You're already bloated and you're foggy and you're tired. Hello, right? But you took a second helping at like the potluck. Boy, I really resonate with this one. Just to look normal like everybody else. But you didn't want anyone asking. Oh, God, boy. Hello. Are you on a diet? You just wanted to get through the meal without explaining anything. I have talked about this with you guys before. Like, stop paying attention to what I'm eating or not eating. It's okay. Because you're just like, oh, I don't want to explain myself. I'm better about it now because now everybody knows my journey and everybody knows my content. So now it's fine. But boy, I'll tell you, when I was, remember, I was the turtle. 3 to 4 years it took me to trade out my food ingredients. 3 to 4 years. And I just didn't want anybody to, like, this was just between me and Jesus. I was going to make my own assessments and my own decisions. And I just didn't need the conversation. But for me, it was really because I knew that on the other side of that conversation was oftentimes a food pusher. Well, you know, it's all about balance. You can't just cut out complete food groups. That's not healthy for you. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Like, la, 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 la. That was me. How about this one? You've realized, maybe this is you. You're looking at your calendar. You realize it's filled up with follow-ups, checkups, and pharmacy runs instead of the things that bring you joy. We talk about this one too. It feels like all you do is manage symptoms and you're not living. You're kind of just coping. It's a lot of conversation in I was going to say back alley, but I guess that's really not in my messenger. I know, you guys, there's a lot of stuff going on with that, right? Maybe this is you. You're avoiding the lake trip. Okay, I'm in Minnesota. Okay, so you told your friends and your family that you couldn't go, but deep down, the idea of putting on shorts or a swimsuit and sitting around feeling exposed and that kind of vulnerability doesn't feel like it anymore. So let's get into how we can actually turn some of this around. Good morning, Tammy. Love to you, Tammy. So much love. You're all in with that. You have 3 sizes in your closet. Linda, yes. And I did get I got your text. I haven't responded because I'm like, I got to think about the date that I can put on the calendar to meet up. So I will do that. So good to see you on here today. So, this is a big frustration. And I feel like there are a lot of people that don't even know some of the breakdown. So let's just break down really simply, like you're sitting at your kitchen table with me. We're just sitting here together. We're just going to chat for a half a minute about insulin resistance so that maybe you can get a really streamlined understanding of what's going on. And then we can just kind of move forward from there. And then again, like I said, in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, you guys, you can spend your summer investing in yourself mentally and physically. You can spend your summer actually taking ground. And I have things set up and in place for you. I have it in place so that you can have the transformational results of other people. Where, I mean, maybe it's you that wants not diabetic put in your chart. Maybe it's you that wants to lose 40 pounds. Maybe it's you that, I'm trying to think. I've had 20 pounds in 5 months, 40 pounds in over 40 pounds in 8 months, 45 pounds in 5 months. Like it depends, right? Everybody's a little different. But man, what if you started on this journey and then the clothes that you were buying this fall or trying on this fall were different? You were dressing a different body composition when it came to boots and sweater season, right? Okay. So think of your body like a kitchen. This is kind of a new scenario that I have been noodling on. Your body is like a kitchen and insulin is your pantry manager. Okay. So you have to track with me on this. So glucose in your blood, that's like the groceries that are showing up at your kitchen door. So you called for delivery and the glucose shows up and it's in the coolers and it's at your door. That's the glucose in your blood. Insulin is the pantry manager and it's going to put everything away. It's going to put everything into your muscle, your liver, your cells. That's what your insulin is. That's its job. It has a job description. It's a hormone that puts all of your groceries away inside of your pantry. In a healthy body, insulin opens up the pantry doors, right? No problemo. Puts the food in the right spots and everything runs really smoothly. That is in a normal body. But if you're on my content, let's just be real. You're probably insulin resistant, right? Or you think you are because your belly's growing and you're like, what is up, buttercup? Like, what is going on? Energy goes into your muscle. This is when you're normal. Energy just goes right into your muscles to be used later. Your blood sugar stays balanced and all is right with the world. Okay. But with insulin resistance, those pantry doors start jamming shut. Okay. The cells stop listening to insulin. Now insulin has to shout louder. Your body produces more of it, more. But the pantry is full. The doors are jammed shut. So guess where the extra groceries go? Does anybody know? Where do the extra groceries go? Hold on. I will answer that for you, Linda. She's asking about spaghetti, squash, and pasta. They go into the overflow storage. Fat cells, especially around where? Your belly. And it's really frustrating, you guys. It changes the way that our clothes have been fitting. It changes the way that we have to shop. Now we have to think about, okay, what shape am I now? Like this has been my journey over the last even few years where I'm like, I don't even know how to dress myself anymore because now my body composition is kind of changing back. And I'm like, oh, I just was wearing oversized clothes because I was a 2X. So nothing, in my opinion, felt like it looked good on me anyway. And now that I'm going backwards and I'm kind of returning back to a little more youthful figure, I'm like, and don't get me wrong, not like I was yet. I mean, I'm not going to oversell it. I'm just saying that I can tell for myself, right? Because I've lost 3 sizes. But in that losing of 3 sizes, I didn't just lose 3 sizes and I lost it off my butt because I didn't, or I lost it off of, whatever areas that whatever, because I was doing it through the lens of insulin resistance, it's actually turning back around the composition. It's bringing back my composition. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. I'll keep going though. But they go They go into the overflow fat storage, fat cells, especially around your belly. So you're not eating more. This is why you're confused. You're like, but I'm eating healthy. You're not lazy. You have to hear me. You guys, you got to hear me. You're not broken. Okay? Your pantry is just full. And your insulin has nowhere else to put the excess. What that looks like in real life is you feel really tired after meals. You're like, so tired. What in the world? You crave sweets even when you're full. Your belly keeps growing even if the rest of you stays the same. That's how we get this disproportionate body composition. Your clothes fit differently because now you're trying to fit your belly, but your legs, right? Or your butt. Okay. You feel puffy, inflamed, and stuck. I don't know. If that is you, you're in the right place. I just want you to really hear that, okay? We've been doing this. You and I have been doing this in the group for 2 years now. June was when I started 2 years ago in 2023. Opened up the Facebook group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. We've done a challenge every month since then. And then doing these lives a year ago, February, we started these lives. So you're in the right place. There's a system in place, okay? If you don't fix the pantry problem, meaning if your insulin is high all the time, it won't matter how little you eat or how much you exercise, okay? You can't unlock fat loss until your cells start listening to insulin again, okay? So what you can do starting like right now, how can you fix this so that you can move forward? The belly. Yes, the belly. Reduce the foods that spike insulin. Okay, you guys, come on. We already know we got to fix what got us into the pickle to begin with. We're really not confused. This is why I spend time with you talking about your pantry, talking about your refrigerator, because I am still a foodie. I want people to hear that too. Like, I thought I had to give up everything that I loved. I didn't. And you don't either. You're going to just trade out your pantry, okay? But you're going to cut out sugar, grains, and legumes. And I know that freaks people out, but I am telling you, there's a whole life on the other side. I'm going to give you an example right now. You're going to focus on proteins, fats, like, your veggies are green. For the most part, I mean, I understand garlic and onion and spaghetti squash, they're not green. But you just get the drift. And your fruits are berries only. Okay. Now I'm going to answer, because I just said that, I'm going to answer Linda's question. Don't you miss pasta? The spaghetti squash just doesn't cut it, she says. Okay. This is great. Being Italian, it is hard to give up pasta, right? It is challenging to shift what you loved so much. I would say for me, zucchini noodles definitely do not cut it. I do not think that spaghetti squash replaces pasta, but I do love spaghetti squash. So last night we had spaghetti squash, and I took like these little chicken sausages that were andouille chicken sausages, and I cut them up and I made kind of a little bit of a cream sauce with them, and I poured it over the spaghetti squash, and my husband and I had that. It was very, very good. Garlic powder, salt, pepper, la, la, la. That was very good. I wasn't thinking, oh, yum, I'm eating pasta. I was just thinking, I love spaghetti squash. Okay. So I'm with you, Linda. I totally understand what you're saying. If I am trying to replace Italian food as an Italian girl, this is what I'm thinking about. The number one thing that I would turn people on to is Maria Emmerich's lasagna ingredient trade out. Okay. Now this is why, because you have to ask yourself different questions, in my opinion. You don't ask yourself, oh, how do I replace pasta? Oh, it's so hard to replace pasta. The question is, what are the flavors that I'm actually wanting? Like, what is it that I'm actually wanting. And this is how this goes. So when you're eating lasagna, you are not eating lasagna for the noodles. And I've said this before, so if you've heard it, just track with me. You're not eating lasagna for the noodles. You're eating lasagna for what you built in between the noodles. It's the Italian sausage and the sauce get without sugar. It's the mozzarella, it's the ricotta or cottage cheese, whichever you do, etc. It's the Parmesan, blah, blah, blah. And it's the building in between the layers. So if the layers can fool you into think you're eating pasta, you won't care. You won't care two hoots. I promise you. So go to your local deli and have them take chicken breast and slice it on a number 2 and use those for noodles. It is the best trade out I've had yet. Some people have tried egg life wraps. To me, that's not the best trade out. It's the chicken deli breast slice. I'm just telling you. That's what I'm wanting. I'm wanting that flavor. If I'm going to, let's pretend I want to do instead of pasta, but I want the Italian flavor. Maybe I'll do a version of chicken Parmesan or chicken cacciatore. Chicken cacciatore doesn't have pasta. You know, you're using maybe chicken thighs and you've got some, black olives and mushrooms and onions. And, you might even have some sauce. There's a couple of different ways you can make chicken cacciatore, etc. Like you're making this flavor-filled Italian meal, but it doesn't have pasta in it. But that's, what I realized when I went to Italy. I've been to Italy twice. They're not eating all of the rainbow every time they sit down like the Americans are, like we are. We're so lame when it comes to like, we're going to do it all. So they're not eating all of the meat and all of the pasta and all of the bread and all of the everything all at once in one meal. Like we think Olive Garden, they would probably be horrified, right? So instead, like a chicken cacciatore doesn't even have pasta with that. I mean, you could probably have it on the side. Maybe you're needing an Alfredo. Well, what if instead of having, noodles, you literally make an Alfredo sauce and you pour it over sliced chicken breast? I'm just saying, like, you got to think differently. Okay. So that's my answer for that one. But hold on. There's more. We've got some Ginsu knives here. I'm just kidding. We don't. Number 2, so that's reduce your foods that spike insulin. You've got to think about that. When you are eating, stop thinking about what you are eating or not eating as punishment. Stop that. This isn't punishment. This is this going to spike my sugars? Like put it on the food. Don't put it on you. Put it on the food. Is this going to spike my sugars? If so, then I am not interested. I'm going to find an alternative. I'm going to take the time and invest my brain resources into finding an alternative. And it won't all happen overnight. That's why we're going to do 90 days of summer of fire in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, because this doesn't happen overnight. But if I can take you on a journey and weave it in and out of all of the events that you have planned this summer, weave it in and out of the, the traveling and the reunions and the camping and the fun and all of the things. Golly, you're going to hit September like you've never hit September before. That's what excites me. So support your body. Number 2, support your body's ability to respond to insulin. This means moving even just a little after meals, 5 to 10 minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes, like just get up and start moving. Take a walk around the block, do something to support your body's ability to respond to insulin. Remember, insulin is the pantry manager and it's supposed to put the groceries away that you just had delivered because you are living in 2025. And so if the pantry door is jammed and they can't open up that pantry door to put the groceries away, then it's going to store it in your liver, your muscles, and your cells. Your fat cells. And this is how you end up just getting fatter and fatter. This is how you end up having fatty liver. This is how you end up having fat pockets in places you're not interested in. It's very frustrating, right? But just start moving more and using like supplementation. And that is obviously what I talk about all the time. Not everybody wants or needs acceleration. I'm just going to say it that way. Not everybody is looking for acceleration. Some of you are just looking for help to trade out your foods and hope for a future that you can see where you've traded out your foods, where you aren't freaking out internally when you go to the movie theater and you're so indoctrinated in your own habits of eating that buttered popcorn and milk dud combo. That may or may not have been me. I don't know. I'm talking for a friend. But because it's the internal emotion that we have that's triggering something, right? We get out on the boat with somebody, we go camping, whatever it is, and that usual repetition is there. Like it's there, it's been ingrained, right? So some people just want to get that under control. They just want to spend some time assessing their food, trading it out, testing the waters, trying a new recipe, whatever. Some of you want acceleration. Some of you want to go faster, or you want your body to be supported yesterday. That's where the supplementation comes in. Okay, that's where I'm talking to you about the 3 different pillars of the total body reset. If you want 1 pillar, that's fine. If you want 2 pillars, that's fine. If you want all 3, that's fine. Like, it's okay. Where you want to start is where you want to start for your own budget, but also for your own routine and for your own level of, commitment, maybe, right? So some of you text me and you're like, I have to do everything right now because I'm in a pickle, or I have something coming up. So the first pillar, and then there is one more step here that I'm going to give you. The trio are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity: insulin, sugars, metabolism, liver function, all in one. This is where I started a little over 10 years ago. Some people just do this. Perfect. Great place to start. Some people add in, hold on, I gotta do this. Some people add in gut reset protocol. I haven't heard of that, Linda. I'll bring that up in just a second. This is I'm going to open this up for you so you can see. It looks like a greens product, but it's not. It's 6 products in one. Did you know that insulin resistance creates leaky gut? That means that you're spilling nutrients and you're not even getting them into your body. So now your body does not even have the raw materials it needs in order to actually function and fire all of your everything. Like, it's a big deal. And then your gut brain axis connection, like if you deal with depression, sadness, anxiety, like you want your gut figured out. So I have now worked with, since the launch of this product, I've worked with people who have short gut syndrome. Meaning she has had excellent results with this. I have people that have had severe constipation, indigestion, IBS, getting off of an IBS med, people that don't have gallbladders, like all of it. So redoing your gut. So some people add in the gut reset protocol. I just put this in a shot of cold water every morning. I already did mine this morning. So this is the gut primer with a probiotic. Okay. So that's 2 of the 3 pillars. The last pillar is adding in the fat burning pixie stick. Okay. And that is amazing. It's a thermogenic, helps to literally, when you think about summer of fire, this is the product that I think about. Let's do a little bit of fat burning. So this is where, if you need to change that body composition, you want to lose inches under your bra, your waist, your hips, this is it. It tastes like candy. You put it on your tongue every day, just like this. Do 90 days on, 30 days off. Don't let your body get used to it. Then do another round, measure. And it tastes just like a pixie stick from when you were a kid. Built for science it's a clinical dose, and it was built and created for sports nutrition. So I'm just telling you. And everything I talk to you about is helping you on a cellular level. And everything that I'm talking to you about is specific towards insulin resistance, towards getting you to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive, to rein it in, because you don't want to be going down the path that takes you further away from being able to turn it around. I always say that there's like this spectrum. There's a spectrum of insulin resistance. Some people are at the very beginning. Some people are really dealing with some harsher realities of it all gone wrong. And you know that my conversation about my dad, he died at 63, but prior to that, it was years of medical procedures and medicines. And my mom would fly me home on an emergency flight from the Black Hills of South Dakota. That's where I was living at the time. So that because my dad would be going in for an emergency angiogram, blah, 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 blah. Right? So that's kind of where my life was at. So using Insulin Smart supplementation. So the trio are the three: the gut reset protocol and the fat burner. Those are the three pillars. Now, the last piece of this, though, is really important. And I talk about this a lot. And you guys can always reach out to me or go to my site, myfirstlastname.com, kirstenliebelt.com. The last one is give yourself grace. And I talk about this a lot because when I was going through my mental transition of trading out my foods, etc., I had to deal with the fact that, you know, you have voices in your head from your childhood. And so for me, being Italian, it was definitely, and I reminded this to my husband the other night. We were talking about, we were going to be speaking at our business meeting. And I said, so we were trying to remember some of the steps that we've taken in our journey, et cetera. And I said, you know, just very much like when I was growing up, the message was always manja, manja, eat, eat. Like you show respect to the person who made you food. You show respect. And that's how I was raised. But then when you would gain weight, then you were looked at like, for the female, the men, not so much, but the women, ooh, kind of, you should lose a few pounds. Right? I mean, it's kind of that. But then when I lost weight, and this was my life when I lost weight, and it was right around the time that my dad died. So I'm 30 years old. 6 months prior, I had my youngest son, and I decided I wanted to like lose weight, like right away after I had him. You know how that goes. And so I did a good job. I don't necessarily remember. I think I probably did a severe calorie deficit. I was like 30. I don't remember really because I'm 60 now. So it was a little bit ago, but I did lose weight. And so I was thinner than normal at my dad's funeral. But, you know, then you come home and you've lost weight. And I was, you know, a really normal size. I'm not talking about a 0 or a 2. I've never been a 2, a 4, a 6, like maybe in second grade. I don't remember, but I'm a large now. And I come home and it's like, ooh, don't get too skinny now. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like your brain, you just can't take it. It's like whiplash. And that's ridiculous. So you have to give yourself grace in this journey, because you know what you're doing is you're giving yourself, this is the number one greatest gift I ever gave myself, the gift of assessment. I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but this is my story. This is why I believe that not only have I lost the 3 sizes in my 50s, I've kept it off. That's the piece of the puzzle you want to hear. Not just somebody who lost the weight and then gained it all back. I've lost the weight and I've kept it off now for a few years because now I understand, right? But I had to give myself grace for that assessment process. That assessment process, I'll explain it here in just a second, paid off in spades for me. That's what I love teaching this piece to you guys so much, because it's the gift that you will give yourself that will last forever. And listen, you don't assess yourself one time and then you're done. So stop being so hard on yourself when the assessment piece kind of is like, ooh, wow, I can see the pattern. How can you see a pattern if it's not a pattern? How can you break a pattern if you're not walking the pattern? So maybe right now you're in the middle of a pattern and you're like beating your head against a brick wall and you're like, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing this? Stop and say, oh my gosh, I'm in a pattern. Oh, okay. So where did that come from? Where did that pattern initiate from? That's the assessment piece. Because once you identify, you can break it. You can rewrite the track that's in your brain. It's not rocket science. It just takes time. So you're on this journey where your body needs to heal and turn back around, and your mind needs to align itself, excuse me, so that you can stay this course and have the exact same story. Your story can be, I lost the weight and I kept it off. I lost the weight and I never went back. I lost the weight and was able to take a season of actually finding out what clothes look best on my body shape. Because I didn't just lose weight a bad way. I didn't lose weight in an unhealthy way, like I'm only going to eat 600 calories a day, or I mean, you know what I'm saying. But my body composition actually was just returning. Oh, I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. I'm just living it. And so I'm trying to always find ways to share it better. I'm trying to find ways. Tammy says, so good. Fire. You love how simple this is to maintain the weight loss 8 months after the loss of no weight gain anxiety. Oh my gosh, Terry, you're amazing. I love how simple this is to maintain the weight loss. No weight gain anxiety. God, Terry, that is worth money. That is a money conversation. I don't have anxiety either. And I actually had not even put it in that term yet in my brain. So let me see if I can give you a scenario of where I'm at right now. And then you can decide whether or not you want to journey this summer. Okay. How's that sound? You decide. So the group is Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Jump in there. We'll do a challenge starting on Monday. You'll at least get some background information on insulin resistance, some pantry and trade outs, etc. We'll talk about targeted supplementation like I do, but I'll go in depth so that you can see everything and you can understand like why everything's working. It's not spaghetti up against a wall. Everything has purpose. Terry is a really great example. Of food trade out first is what she did, and then supplements. And she's lost like over 40 pounds, and she's 62. But then we're going to do this 90 days of fire this summer, summer of fire, to burn fat, to light a fire under your health so you can turn things around. So I will teach the targeted supplementation because some of you are going to want to incorporate that. Some of you are going to want to accelerate what you're doing, okay? And then I'll teach a recipe. Okay, so that's what that is. I used to have, it's so interesting that you say this, Terry, because I actually haven't even really, sometimes the hardest thing to do when you're teaching your journey is to go back and remember where you were so that you can bring that to the table for the people you're trying to help. When you're like reaching out a hand and saying, come with me, I can help you. I can help the person I used to be, right? I have to remember. And that's why my husband and I, we have these conversations a lot, especially in terms of business. But then we also do it, I share with him this part of my journey because it helps me to verbalize it out loud. So when you first start losing weight, your fear is that you're going to gain it back because that's all you've ever known. Okay. Or you've never had a weight problem and now you do. And you're like, I don't even know if I can maintain a weight loss because I don't even know where it came from. And maybe your brain is confused. So definitely there's this weight gain anxiety that takes place. And I love this too. She says she doesn't feel the compulsion to weigh every day anymore. I had to give that up. I had to give up that compulsion to weigh all the time as though the scale was giving me the full picture, which it wasn't at all. And so I lost weight in areas that I didn't think I was going to lose in first. And then, other ones took slower. And then I would be judging myself based on, how maybe clothes were fitting. But remember, if your belly is the bigger piece, then maybe the waistband isn't changing, but maybe you're changing in other areas. And like, it can be a whole mental game, right? Well, that weight, like you're anxious that you're going to gain the weight back, keeps you in this place of constant, like if you have something that's off your plan, like let's say you're at a wedding and you finally decide after a long, long time, you're going to have that piece of cake and you're going to enjoy. And all of a sudden in your brain, you're like, oh my gosh, you just gained it all back. Or you wake up the next morning and you're like, oh, right? Because we have this like anxiety over it. Well, over time of just realizing, recognizing that I'm on this journey, this is my path. This is like how I'm going. I'm not doing it short term. I'm not doing it whatever. I started to assess those thoughts and those feelings. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. This is where this no shame comes from that I talked to you guys about. I'm like, no shame, wiping that off. I had a piece of cake. God, that was a good day. And I move on. And that was a practice. That was an intentional practice. Now I'm to the point where I can sit down and let's say I went to Florida with my husband for a few days this winter. We had so much fun. We did so much walking. It was insane. We did, because I'm from Minnesota, remember? So we were soaking it up, walking and just shopping and eating. We had so much good food everywhere we went. The food was amazing, which is, of course, what I wanted because I'm a foodie. But he would always order like dessert or whatever. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, you know what? I want to know. Wow, that looks really good. And I would like take a bite and I'd be like, I'm very metabolically flexible now. It doesn't freak me out. And I'm good. I'm good. Right? But that's because you can intentionally work on that. This is a lot of mind stuff, you guys. You're not broken. You're not broken at all. You are just in process. And the process is number one, getting your body to be more metabolically flexible. And number two, healing your connections with food and your mind a little bit so that you can stop being so dang mean to yourself as you go. It's why I had to get rid of my scale. I had to get rid of it. You know, I couldn't do it. I mean, there are just certain things that were really triggering. And I cannot base my emotional universe today on what a number on a scale says. I have way more life to live than that. So you have to know yourself and you have to assess yourself. That's why I can't fix everything for everybody. You have to walk the journey yourself, but I'll go with you. I'll go with you. So if you want to, whether or not you want to be in the group, that's okay. You don't have to be in the group. You don't. But if you want to start accelerating some of your own results and you need help right now with like targeted supplementation, science-backed choices, I really feel like that's a good way to say that. Like you want to understand why your body is actually responding to supplementation other than just I take a multivitamin, although I do. But you want to know why I put together like a 2-minute video, might be 2 minutes on the trio on just the basic. I have a 5-minute video on the total body reset, about a 2-minute video on the trio. You let me know. You reach out to me. You get into my inbox. You tell me that you want to see a little short video, what you want to see it on, and we'll take it from there. And at least, you know what? I always say good information and knowledge is never a disadvantage, is it? It's never a disadvantage. So, but in the meantime, I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we've got good things coming up in the group. So if you need to jump in there, it's called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. My contact information is everywhere. So there's no excuse to not be able to reach out to me and find me and to say, hey, I saw you on your live and I need to know this and I need to know this, etc. And then I will tell you how you can save $75 every 3 months on your wellness journey. Best campaign ever. And I think that's good. The kits and noodles, I've never heard of those, Linda. I don't know what those are. I'll have to look those up because I've not seen those. But all right. Have such a great day, you guys. It's so good to see you.